Hi everyone, this is Shauna Tarosa, RAYAC's Executive Officer, and this is my desk. In this monthly video cast, we go over questions that are coming across my desk every single day so we can have much smoother real estate transactions here in York and Adams counties. And the question that I have today is, what is this new form from the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors? Well, I am glad you asked. PAR just released a new form this winter of 2026 called the Buyer's Request to Broker for Deposit, or the BRB. So what does the BRB mean and when should you use it? So always, as I love to give you my disclaimer, I'm not an attorney and I don't play one on TV, so please do not confuse this with legal advice. But this form was created in response to the return of the earnest money deposit and when there are disputes over that. So viewers of this podcast know that I have done not one but two videos on this topic in the past, and I'm going to link them in the message board below so you can watch them, part 1 and part 2, about the return of the disputed earnest money deposits. But just as a quick recap, the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors Residential Agreement of Sale has a section in it under paragraph 26C, and it says that the buyer and seller agree that if there is a dispute over who's entitled to that earnest money deposit that is unresolved after blank days, defaults to 180 unless you change it, that the buyer is entitled to request the money back from the broker who is holding the earnest money deposits after those days have expired, and the broker has to return those funds to the buyer within 30 days unless they have received written verifiable notice that there has been mediation or litigation filed in the case. So basically, here would be the scenario. You have a circumstance in which there is a buyer and a seller. There was a contract in place and the contract falls through and they're not going to the settlement table. But there is a disagreement over who is entitled to that earnest money deposit or how it might get split up between the two parties or not. And the dispute is not resolved within the time frame that's outlined in 26C. So at that point, the broker is holding on to the funds, if that is in fact who is holding it, because this paragraph doesn't apply unless it's a broker holding the funds. But if a broker is holding the funds and let's say we defaulted that to 180 days, and it's been the 181st day, there's been no agreement over how to disperse those funds, there's been no mediation filed, no litigation filed in regards to those funds, then the buyer needs to request from the broker holding the funds that they would like the funds returned to them. This form, the BRB, allows you to do so. So this provides you an avenue rather than an email or something along those lines, something a little bit more formal, requesting the funds be returned to them in compliance with paragraph 26C of the agreement of sale. And you'll see that it is only signed by the buyer, not by the seller, because the seller hasn't agreed to it, but it's only by the buyer. And under the stipulations outlined in contract under 26C, as long as there has been no written verifiable notice that there has been a mediation or litigation in the case, the broker then needs to return the funds to the buyer within a 30-day time period. So this is a topic that comes up all the time at the RAYAC office, and a lot of members tend to be a little bit confused about what is outlined in 26C. So what I would suggest to you is you need to go back, view those videos that I have in the link below, and then we have this brand new form from the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors that you can start using to assist your clients. And just one other quick thing I wanted to let you know, that just because the funds have been released back to the buyer in accordance with 26C, the seller still maintains the right to file mediation or litigation in that case. It just means that the buyer is now holding those funds. They are no longer being held by the brokerage company. So yes, the seller retains their rights to file mediation and litigation. It's just that the buyer now has the funds not the broker. So I hope that information is helpful to you. If there's ever any questions that you would like me to cover, please feel free to reach out to me because my doors and ears are always open to you. Thanks so much and have a wonderful day.